Hello and welcome to another edition of Stockwatch. So over the weekend we hear that cybersecurity experts have said that over 500 million Facebook users accounts have been breached, and this personal information is basically what they would use to sign up an account, such as email addresses, birthdays and their actual location as well. So this is an issue that stems back from 2019, which is still ongoing, and obviously Facebook have been in the headlines in the past. They've been sued in 2020 after failing to protect users' personal data in the Cambridge Analytica breach, and the scandal harvested almost 87 million users' personal data. And going back to 2018 as well, Facebook disclosed details of a security breach which affected 50 million users, but that hasn't really deterred its stock price in the last 24 hours, as it's jumped over 3%, which we'll take a look at shortly. And sticking to the social media theme, I just want to touch on Twitter, that it's currently lagging in new subscribers, but it's not exactly shrinking either. It's just kind of in a little bit of consolidation with new and old subscribers at the moment. So not really jumping on its fiercest rivals in the social media market. But this also stems back to when they banned Donald Trump as well. We're going to see if that's had a ripple effect on the price as well, and if it can actually start jumping higher to pre-pandemic levels. So let's just take a quick look on Facebook, just a couple of little slides that I want to show you at the moment. So it's still got a healthy market cap, but most interestingly here, the daily range, it's actually jumped $10, which is quite significant in the last 24 hours. And that's obviously, over a 3% jump. The 52-week range, this is just dating back to when the pandemic was really in full flow. Sorry, in the first wave. So this is a very good growth for Facebook in the 52-week calendar. But like I said, the daily range is something that I wanted to focus on and point out. Analyst rating as well, not surprisingly, it's all a heavy buy at the moment, even going back to over 3 months ago. So again, analyst expectations looking very, very healthy there. So the stock price has jumped to a new all-time high and increased over 3% in early trading, hitting $307, and the previous was 304. This is setting a new all-time high, so very, very significant. And obviously Facebook is now worth going up to the $1 trillion status as well. So we're just going to see what does that mean for Facebook in the near term. So the last time I looked at Facebook, I was looking at these slight peaks that we were having going back to November and August. So this was the rise of, this was when the first wave went, quiet, and also this when the summer reopening began. And then here we had the positive news of the Pfizer vaccination in the early part of November. So we had another spike there on most of the technology and social media companies. Then we saw a detrimental downturn. Now we're seeing another progressive spike. So what I'm looking for at the moment is any signs of a bit of momentum failure. We've had this very long, you could say, bearish divergence, but it's a very long one, so it probably won't really take any effect. At the moment, we're trading very far away from the Ichimoku cloud, so it's a very, very significant buy. All I would probably look at is if prices start retracing slightly back down to this previous peak around the lower end of the $300 area, then we could look for a move below the $300 mark. If that does happen, then I'll be looking at previous peaks and really seeing if the Ichimoku cloud is going to start closing in on prices as well. So very, very interesting figures from Facebook. With Twitter though, however, it's a little bit of a different story. I've been seeing exponential growth in Twitter since the best part of last year in the second quarter, but as we enter Q2 now, we're seeing a little bit of a detrimental downturn. Again, I'm looking at certain peaks that we've had and seeing if we're going to really start capitalizing on these sell positions. At the moment, we're trading inside the Ichimoku cloud. This could be a good sign or a bad sign. I'm just waiting for a little bit of direction. As you can see here, I'll just zoom in for a better clarification. We've just spiked below the Ichimoku cloud, so it looks like a bit of a false break at the moment. So we're just seeing if this slight, small bearish divergence here is really going to come into play and start affecting prices in the short term. So as you can see, slight growth in the Ichimoku cloud. So at the moment, I'm just going to be waiting for a signal either to pop out of the cloud or to drop back below. And then I'll be looking to probably put in a sell position roughly down to this area here, or we can start spiking upwards again to previous highs. So we're in a bit of a $10 range, let's say, or just underneath and these are the prices and levels that I'll be looking at in the next 24 hours. Obviously, Twitter isn't really in the news headlines that often as much as Facebook, but you never know. If you do see a detrimental headline or a positive one, then be sure to check out the fluctuation in prices as well. Very, very important. So that's all from the Stock Watch today. Thank you very much for joining me. If you have any comments or queries, please feel free to add them to the post and I'll get back to you as soon as possible. Have a great trading day ahead and bye for now.